Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy. I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today, I'm gonna talk to you about Sounds of Freedom. And honestly, I saw this film almost 2 weeks ago. It stars Jim Caviezel, directed by Alejandro Gomez Monteverdi, and it's a story based off the true story of the abduction of two children and the the lone manhunt, played by Jim Caviezel, who stars as the real life figure named Tom Ballard, um, goes through lengths to um, find these children and to return them home to their parent. And yeah, this is a very tough and a pretty good movie. Uh, I really enjoyed this movie, and enjoyed it in a good way of seeing a unique personal story, something that we haven't really gotten in quite a while, and trying to find the right way to say this. This movie's good, and it reminds me of films that try to take difficult topics and it doesn't glorify them. It doesn't do any of the sorts. It basically tells a good story of good versus evil, right and wrong. You have a very somewhat stoic, masculine like character, male character, who who's been fighting the good fight and trying to arrest the bad guys for doing wrong. And he sees an opportunity or another chance to do something even more, you know, thoughtful and good of rescuing and reuniting these siblings together and ignoring some of his bosses. He works for the FBI because they're not planning on getting too involved into his mission, or doesn't want to get too further involved. So he quits his job, does whatever he needs to do uh, to succeed in his mission. I will say this: so this film, it's marketed as a inspirational thriller, and Wikipedia says it's an action film. This is not an action movie. There's not. It's not an action film. If there's, I would say, any remotely any action, it's probably the last. Well, I wouldn't say the last. It's like a moment that lasts for like 30 seconds to a minute, including a certain scene. And to an extent, maybe that's a good thing because it keeps the film grounded and realistic to a certain level. That you actually felt the gravity of realism and fear that went along into this movie. And this movie is not R; it's PG-13. So I like it that for a PG-13 film of this um of this level of storytelling to tell a gritty story in its rating. Because usually PG-13s they'll try to force a lighthearted movie, and surprisingly, no, no. I mean, they could have gone R. Thank goodness, to be honest, they didn't do that. They left you with this implication and thought of what is happening to these children, and quite frankly, I don't want to discuss. I don't want to discuss that. But you do see the horror. You feel the horror into this, and what I really liked about Jim Caviezel's character is that he's kind of a character that doesn't say much. He's kind of a more to action kind of character, and it's film's always really consistent. It's consistent on story, and this is what I miss about movies nowadays because this film does it builds up the action, the cause, and it slowly builds up the story. And it's more story driven than character. I think character development kind of falls short a bit, but it's more on on the story, and the story is what gets the film, um, at least for me, invested, and you feel a lot of emotion from really a lot of characters when they reveal certain things about themselves. They have this revelation that really changes their lives. There's quite a few scenes that I like in this film, especially in particular with Bill Camp, where he um, realized a huge mistake he's done, and he kind of explains why he is helping Jim Caviezel's character, why he is doing this for him. Um, and it's a heartbreaking scene, and I think it's a scene where I could see someone who's extremely sincere about any wrongdoing that they've done, and I don't want to go into it. Um, uh, I really loved how the filmmaker was able to. I can't believe it was $14.5 million, and it feels like it's a $30 to $40 million movie. I thought the way he used his resources was amazing. It felt like a bigger film than what it was. And that also reminds me, you don't need a big ass budget to tell a good story. It shows it in this film. I think that's what a lot of studios are tanking now because they're overestimating the value of good storytelling. All you need to do is have a good story. This story could be traumatizing for some, but as long as you have a unique, interesting story that has a good payoff towards the end, that's it. Like, so these blockbusters, these $100 million movies, and then now they just going straight on streaming. This is in theaters, by the way. And I keep hearing that there's people out there sabotaging this movie. Um, you don't need a big budget film to tell a good ass story. That shows it right there, man. Um, and for those sabotaging this movie, and now it's becoming, political. And first of all, why the frick is this getting political? This is a film basically showing good man trying to save children from evil in this world, from evil. And it becomes political. I'm not here getting no political topics, but the idea of saying people are claiming, oh, this ain't real. That's bull. That's bull. It's a film that really wants to make you do something in a good way, to really get involved. Um, because I felt it. I felt like I needed to help somebody, um, and help the cause. That's what it is. This film literally felt like when I was watching this film. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This movie did get me. I don't have kids, but I mean, I have, you know, cousin. But I don't really have a gripe for it at all. I'm amazed what this film was able to do. Uh, it is a powerful film, and I will continue to support this. Um, and I just recommend watching it. Especially for those who are squeamish for certain topics like this. I would encourage you to watch it as a wake up call that they're just people out there that are just evil. It's people out there that are just evil. and they use the media to brainwash people. To I don't want to call that, but not everything what you're being told is true. But I'm telling you, this film, there's some reality to it. Uh, do check this out at your local theater. It sounds like there are higher powers are trying to sabotage the success of this film. And all I'm going to say is continue to support and check this film out. Continue to support it. This is a film that I think we definitely need right now. I feel like a lot of, not particularly in film, but just I feel like a lot of, I feel like our surroundings now are. I feel like there's been a lack of spirituality here, and I'm talking about in the right way. Um, I feel like there's something missing with that. Um, but do check Sounds of Freedom. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know if you have, and spread the word.